guys, this is what we're making today.
Welcome back, guys. So today we're making smoky tube, or you call it smoky crop top. All right. So the measurements we are needing will be the circumference of the bust, and we'll also need the length of that means the half length of the person we're making this for. Okay, so the half length we're making use of is 17. So 17 will give us this is our 17, but we can't do this 17 because just like your off-shoulder dress, we'll be taking about 5 inches or 6 inches away. So that means we'll have to minus 5 inches from this 17 inches. So we have it here. So basically we have 12 inches. That's the length of the tube we're making, 12 inches. But because we'll be folding this fabric, we'll be adding 2 inches to it, 1 inch to fold this side and 1 inch to fold this other side. So altogether we'll be measuring 14 inches. So here it is, 14 inches here, 14 inches. So we'll just connect the lines. I believe you can see what I'm doing. 14 inches. So let me move this a bit. Okay, so 14 inches. So we'll just connect the lines like this with a straight ruler. So there we have it. I believe you can see the line. Let me mark it here, make it thicker so you can see it. All right, so the circumference of the bust is 38. Because it will be a smoky dress, we'll be adding 12 inches to the 38. So that 12 inches plus 38 will be giving us 50. So the 50 divided by 4 will give us 12.5. So we have our fabric folded into 4. This is 2, and this way again, that's fold into 4 folding. So we have 12.5. So you should ensure, please ensure that your folding is exactly 12.5. There could be a little space here for this open side, but the closed sides, there mustn't be a space so to cut. So you mustn't cut the closed sides. So 12 inches, we just mark it here like this. So we are basically leaving this to cut hair out. All right, so the same thing applies to this place, 12 inches. Okay, so our 12 inches, 12.5 inches rather, is 32 cm. So once we are done with this measurement, we are cutting. So please remember, you're not having the armhole measurements. No, there is no need for that. There is no need for any other measurement. So it's just the length and the biggest circumference, which is the busts. All right. So since we have this cut, we can open it up, then connect this and this to have a very nice cut there. Connect in a straight line and have it cut out. Okay, let me cut from here so I don't get to obstruct the camera. Okay. Okay, so here, finally we have it. Okay, so in making this tube, you would need about 1.5 yards of fabric. Of course, you can't exhaust all. This is just what you need. Okay, so we're good. So with this, the next thing we are doing is take this out. The next thing we're doing is to roll this, because in sewing you should ensure that your spacing is just half an inch. Of course, you can do 1 inch spacing though. Okay, let's put it this way. You could decide to do 1 inch spacing, but I think I would advise that you do half an inch spacing while smoking. So that's why we're having this half inch. So you're basically rolling, marking this half inch everywhere. So okay, so once this is done, we're doing the same thing to this other side. All right, so the essence of this marking is to give a guide. Yes, it's just to give you a guide as to where to smoke, because your smoking has to be really straight. It has to be straight to make. But I believe you're seeing what I'm marking. Hope I'm not obstructing the camera. Let me mark it this way so I don't get to obstruct the camera. Right, so this is it. So you do this as well till you get to the last point. So once this is done, you need to connect your lines. Connect the line from one end to the other end. Right, so our ruler is not long enough. That means we'll be having this same marking done somewhere at the middle. I mean somewhere at the midpoint. So here we mark till we get to the other end as well. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Please, and to those that have subscribed, thanks so much. You've subscribed before now, thanks so much. All right, so here we have it. Then we connect the lines together. So here and here, I believe you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so here on the first one, connect it like this. All right, so we do the same thing here. We do the same connection here. Okay, so we connect it this way as well. All right, so this is what we do. This is the way we connect everything till we get to the end part. Okay, so here we are in the sewing. First of all, I had to draw all these lines, half an inch spacing to guide me in while smoking the dress. So then after that, you do this folding. Fold this edge all through, then fold the other side as well. Okay, so okay, in doing this folding, you'll be making use of the normal regular thread. Okay, so it's the sewing thread we are making use of, both at the top and at the down part. That's the bobbin. Okay, so for our smoking now, we'll be using the normal thread at the top, while the thread in the bobbin will be changed. So we'll be using our smoky thread in the bobbin. So that's the one that will be down. Then you will need to face your fabric up like this. That means the front side will have to be up, while the wrong side will be down. So that's the part where we need our smoky thread to show. Okay, so we start sewing. Don't forget to back stitch. All right, whichever way you do your back stitching, but it is very important you back stitch. All right, so we go ahead. Then as you're sewing, you're pulling it. All right, so the first one might not look like it, because the smoking might not have sewn so well. So we continue. Oh no, it's cut. Need to fix it. So while you're doing this, while you're smoking it, if your thread gets cut along the line, or the smoky thread gets finished, there is nothing to worry about. So you just continue from where you stopped, but don't forget to back stitch. Very, very important. All right. Okay, so this is another end. Okay. So there, we're done with this, the first line. All right, so we're moving on to the next line. So you can see that it's gathered a little. By the time you have the second one, it will be making more sense. Okay, so I didn't cut out that joining, the excess thread from the joining I did the other time, so please ensure you always do that. Right, so we're almost done with the second line. Okay, so we're done with the smoking. See, everything everywhere smoked, and I believe you love what you're seeing already. So the last thing we'll be doing is to, okay, I think second to last thing, yes, is to fold these open parts together. So you're doing front facing front facing front this way, so you're sewing on the back. That's the wrong side, so you put them together this way. You can sew using a 1 inch seam allowance, or you can sew using a 1/2 inch seam allowance, just the way it suits you, whatever is fine with you. All right, so oh yes, I also need to mention that in this joining you would be needing your normal thread. You don't need the smoky thread anymore, so both the one in the bobbin and the one at the top will have to be your normal thread. So don't forget to back stitch as you sew. All right, so all right, so because it is smoked, these open parts will be wanting to fold in, but you wouldn't allow that, you know, so you use your hands to adjust it and go ahead and do your sewing. So this way, right. We're still doing our sewing, our joining rather. So don't forget, it's a smoky tube dress, or you call it smoky crop top. Okay, don't forget to back stitch when you get to the last part as well. So here we have it. Here, nice. So there is one more thing to do. You know, you wouldn't want your work to be rough this way, so the last thing you need to do is to use a whipping machine to whip this side, so that all of these won't be pulling out as you wear it or your client wears it. So you whip this side, and We have it turned, and our tube dress is ready to be worn. Thanks for staying this far. Please subscribe if you haven't done so, and see you in my next video. Thank you.